Hey everyone, so today we're just going to do a quick review on how to use the Desmos Graphing Calculator on the digital SAT. So for our first example here, I wanted to go over a little known feature of the Desmos Calculator. So we just open it by using the calculator icon up here. We can make it a little larger. And in this question, we're trying to find the mean of this data set. So instead of having to type them all into my calculator, divide, do all that, I can just use a feature and you can access it through functions. If we scroll down here, we see there's a bunch of different statistics, things we can do to this, including standard deviation, median, max, find the quartiles. So these can be quite useful. But in this case, I'm going to use the mean feature. And then if I just type in my data set, we actually end up getting our average, which is 9. So that's kind of a nice little shortcut to take when doing these data analysis questions. For this next question here, Desmos is definitely going to be the fastest way of solving it. The other ways of doing it would be to use the quadratic formula. Maybe you could factor it, although this doesn't look super factorable. So to solve this using the Desmos calculator, we're just going to open that again. And we're looking for the positive solution for this equation. So that's when it is crossing through the x-axis. So let's just put in this equation here. We don't even need to reorganize it or anything. And it will just pull it up here and we can see, okay, the positive solution is at 2.25. So that is going to be our answer. And 2.25, of course, if we just convert that, it's going to be 9/4. Number 11 here would actually be super difficult to solve without the Desmos calculator. But using the Desmos calculator actually makes it really easy. So let's pull up this equation here. So basically, we're trying to find a constant here, and then we're solving for the value of this equation, but with a new value of x. So let's just write this equation in here. We have y is equal to 19, and then that's being multiplied by a to the x. And we want to add a slider for a here. And we're told that when x is equal to 3, this g of x equation is equal to 2,375. So let's plug in 3 for x here in the calculator, and then let's just solve for our constant a. So let's just move the slider up until we get to 2,375. And there it is. So when a is equal to 5, y is equal to 2,375. So we know a is equal to 5. So now let's plug in 5 for a. And then we're looking for when x is equal to 4. So then we'll just change that x value to 4. And then that gives us our value of y, which is 11,875. Number 12 is a very common type of problem where we have a parabola and then a linear line, and we're told to find the solution to this system of equations, so just the intersection point between these two equations. Now, the Desmos calculator makes this problem much easier than it would be to solve this by hand. Solving this by hand would involve substitution and then then multiplying out and then refactoring. But with the Desmos calculator, all we need to do is just type in the two equations here. And then typing in these two equations, we should get our intersection point, which we do. So that's 2, 0 is where these two lines intersect. And that would be our answer. This last problem is very similar to the problem we just did. There is a linear line and a parabola, and we're trying to solve for the system, except it's going to rely on a skill we used on an earlier problem, which was solving for a constant. So let's pull up this Desmos calculator here, and we want to solve for when these two equations have one solution point, so they intersect once. So let's write in our equations here, starting with the parabola. And now the linear line. And then remember, let's add that slider. So then now we want to solve for when these two equations only have one intersection point. So let's move this slider. It's going to be down this way. And it's going to be right around there. So it looks like at -8, yes, we have one solution there, 6, 10, and we want the x value of that solution point. So that is going to be x equals 6. So that is our answer. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments section, or you can also email me, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible.